What's up? It's me, your boy, and today I'm feeling very manic because I've just gotten out of a very deep depressive episode which was like going on all of the month of May. Also, I have a mark right here which looks like I fucking shot a parrot, and maybe I did. Who the fuck are you to judge me, Margaret? I've been gone for a while. In case you haven't noticed, I think I haven't uploaded for like 3 to 4 weeks. Mainly because I've been so focused on school and studying, which didn't really do much. I failed every single one of my tests. So today's video is going to be about a time in my life that changed me forever and changed the way I think and feel. Basically the start of my many insecurities and my depression. Before this video starts, like, I'm gonna mention people in this video that might be watching this and that know me personally. Now, I want to say that most people won't even know who I'm talking about because I've only really told this story to close friends and not even like all of my friends, like maybe 2. And well, my family, so no one else really knows who this is. And I'm also not gonna use the real names, mainly because I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I could get sued for this and I could get in a lot of trouble for this, so thumbs up this video, I guess. What? Let's get into today's video. Now, before I start with the actual story, I need to tell you some like details about this. So back when I was, you know, in middle school and not in the school I am right now, I was part of a friends group of 5 friends. 4 of them were like my best friends or something, and one of them was like my best friend, I guess. Like, she was my best friend. Like, I've known her ever since I can remember, basically. Like, we were friends for 14 years and we're not friends anymore. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. We kind of became friends because both of our moms are like friends or something. I mean, they're not that close anymore now, but they've been really close. So like, I would hang out with this girl like all the time. Now, this girl is gonna be the main focus on this video. Like, the other 4 of my friends are, I think they haven't really contributed as much as she has to like my mental state. So if you're watching this and you're one of those 4 friends, don't worry, like, I'm not gonna talk of you in any bad way. But if you're that one person, oh boy, you're on for a ride. I'm gonna call this person Regina. You wanna know why? Because she's the literal live action fucking embodiment of Regina fucking George from Mean Girls. Yeah, that bitch right there. And if you watch Mean Girls, you know what she's like, so you can kind of guess what this girl was like. But just so you have a little closer insight, I'm just gonna tell you a few things that from my like childhood that, yeah, she did to me. So the first thing that I can remember is I was in kindergarten. Like, we've been in like the same class in kindergarten for like ever. Like, we're still in the same school today, but unfortunately we're not in the same class anymore. It makes me so sad because I don't see this bitch every day anymore, you know. Like, I just love to see her fucking ugly face or whatever, but you know, we've been in kindergarten together, and as you know, like, kindergartners are like toddlers, so whatever. And if you know, like, I'm pretty sure you know, like, these boards, these magnetic boards, where you can like, where you have like letters and you can stick them onto the board to kind of form a sentence or a word or whatever. And so one day I was standing in front of one of these boards with my friend, so with Regina, and she was like, oh, you know, just spell, I don't remember exactly the word, take one of those letters and spell cat. She said that to me, a fucking 3 to 4-year-old, and she told me to spell the word cat. I didn't know how to write, so I was just like, well, here goes nothing, and I just took like some random letters and like wrote it on the board. She looked at me like, wrong, and slapped me. She fucking slapped me! And I didn't know how to fucking read or write, so she probably didn't know it either, but yet she still slapped me, even though she like didn't know that it was wrong as well. So that was kind of the first memory. You know, I told this to my parents, and like every day after the kindergarten I would come home crying about this one friend because she was so fucked up and she like treated me like her actual dog, like a fucking, like I'm not human or whatever. I told this to my parents and my parents were like, oh yeah, you know, like stop being friends with her, I guess. Here's the thing. Back when I was like in kindergarten and primary school, I was very shy. I had like so much social anxiety. I mean, I still kind of have it, but it has kind of, you know, gotten better or whatever. I was so scared to talk to anyone except for like my one friend and my family, that I would like not have any friends except for her, of course. And that's also the reason why I didn't have many friends, you know, very sad. Because I was generally so scared. I don't know why. But one day, so this is like the next story, so we like, right now we're in like 2nd grade or something. There was this like girl in my class that was a little, you know, she was like a little bigger. And people used to make fun of her because of her weight. And so did Regina, and so did I a little. Mainly because, you know, like the only reason I ever made fun of people was not because I genuinely felt that way, but just because I wanted to like be part of the cool kids. I was like too scared of like losing Regina if I would like stand up for that person and be like, you know, that's not fair or whatever. And it was basically peer pressure. One day Regina didn't have time to hang out with me, so I was like, alright, I'm just not gonna do anything. And then my mom came in and told my socially anxious ass that I should call up this girl in my class, you know, the bigger girl. Let's call her Rebecca. And I should call up Rebecca and, you know, basically tell her to come over and ask to hang out. And I was like, dude, I can't do this. Like, I've made fun of her for like forever. And like, she's gonna actually hate me. But my mom then forced me to call her and ask her to come. And so she did. And she was actually pretty happy about it, which was like surprising to me because I was like, bitch, I've treated you like shit all the time, like why are you happy to see me or whatever. So she came over and we had a lot of fun, and actually after like the first hangout we started to hang out like all the time. Like she basically became like my best friend. Regina kind of wasn't, like she was still my friend, but like I didn't talk to her as much anymore. And that made her really jealous. So what she did, she manipulated Rebecca into hating me so that Rebecca wouldn't talk to me anymore. One day I got to school and like neither Rebecca or Regina would talk to me, which was like fucking awful. And later on I asked like Rebecca, like, what's wrong, you know, like you're acting differently and you act like you hate me, like did I do something wrong? And she was just like, oh, you know, Regina told me something about you and I don't think we can be friends anymore. And I was just like, bitch, what? And after that I was like, alright, I guess I can't be friends with Rebecca, so I'm gonna crawl back to Regina, which she wanted me to do. And we were friends again. It was kind of like a little backstory. Like, she treated me like a fucking peasant. Like, I was not even worth living. People back then treated me really badly in general. Like, no matter I'm this fucked up and I like have this many insecurities, because I genuinely don't know what it feels like to be respected by people. And I'm 18 now and none of that shit has changed. So now fast forward to a time where pretty much every single one watching can say it was horrible. We're going to motherfucking 8th grade, bitch. In 8th grade, especially for me, I had a really hard time. Like, maybe other people didn't, but like for me it was fucking horrible. And not just because I was mentally not well, but because of the incident that happened. In the late years of like primary school, I got 4 more friends because Regina made me hang out with them or whatever. And we were like all besties up until like the end of, or like the middle of 2014. In 8th grade, I was going through my very first depressive episode. It was also the first time I self-harmed. You know, like, besides me being like mentally fucked, my friendship was still like up and about, and it was pretty much like good or whatever. The thing was, I never told any one of my friends how I felt because I was genuinely so scared of it, because I was like, they're not gonna understand me anyway, they're just gonna hate me and they're just gonna reject me or whatever. I didn't even have to tell them in order to have that happen. Spoiler alert, I lost all of my friends. Right?
Ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would.
It's especially great when you're like depressed as shit. This whole thing of me losing all of my friends happened within 1 week. Let's start off with the first. Oh my god, this is so stupid. Back then I was crying about this shit, but right now it's like, it's so funny actually. I don't fucking know, I'm crying, whatever. Oh my god, my makeup is gonna be ruined. I have to go out today. Let's start off with the first day of this amazing week. And the first day was actually Monday, and the whole school day was fine. And I would always ride my bus home with like Regina because she lives very close to me. We would always walk home together. She would always walk very fast. Like, she would get out of the bus and she had this walk that's just like, oh my god, I'm crying. Like, she got out of the bus and she basically started walking like this, like we got home from school and, you know, she got out and started walking like, and she would walk like really fast, and, you know, my depressed ass was just there like, and I was like, yeah, not happening today. So I walked like 1 mile per hour slower than her. I would like walk for a few meters and all of a sudden she like turned around like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was just like, dude, like, oh, you're walking so much slower, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what's your fucking problem? Like, you've been acting so weird lately and like we don't even know what's happening, so like, can you tell us what's happening? You're a fucking asshole. I was like, bro, like, I was just walking a little slower, like, can we just walk a little slower today? Like, and she was like, no, fuck you. And, you know, walked off like I was like, yeah, well, I guess fuck you too, and, you know, just walked home. I didn't notice that I fucked up a little because she wouldn't like text me all day, and like, or like she would like only text me like K, and I would like text her like fucking Declarance of Independence, and she would be like K, you know, like whatever. One of my other friends was texting me as well, and she was like sending me a picture of her wearing a dress because like in a few weeks from that timeline there was like kind of like a Christian event. I don't really know how to explain it. Like, I don't know if it's like just here in Austria or if they have it in Germany as well. Like, I don't know. She like sent me a picture of her wearing a dress, and she like asked me how she looked, and I was like, your dress looks amazing or whatever. And she asked me, hey, I want to see your dress as well because I haven't seen it yet, and could you maybe send me a picture as well? Just so you know, when she asked me that, I was just done self-harming. I was like still crying. She sent me this text and I looked at my arm, watched the blood drip down, then I got up, looked in the mirror, looked in my pathetic ass face because I've literally been crying for 5 fucking hours, and I was like, yeah, not happening. Because I didn't want to tell them what's going on, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm not feeling that well, I'm sick kind of, and I don't think I'm gonna do that now. And she was just like, alright, okay. And after that she like texted me the same way that Regina did, and I don't know if I did something wrong or if like Regina spreaded something about me. Like, I don't know that. Also, I forgot to say that like I'm making this video not to shame those people, but because I never got to tell my side of the story. So like the that I used to hang out with, like, just know Regina's story or like the story of my friends or whatever. If you're watching this and you've maybe gone to like middle school with me and you've heard of this incident and you were like curious or whatever about my side of the story, there you go. And the next day was Tuesday and I was going to school as usual. I noticed that my friends were acting a little odd. Like, they would barely talk to me or basically just ignore me all the time, which like made me feel really bad because I was like, dude, like, I only did like minor things, like, why the fuck are you freaking out about it, you know? That day I got home from school and I started contemplating what was going on because I am a fuck up. You wanna know why? Because I'm a very non-confrontable, is that the word? I don't know, person. So if I have a problem with you or you're acting weird, I'm not gonna ask you what's wrong. My mind is gonna rotate and I'm gonna make up my own mind about what's wrong and then hate myself for months. So I did that. I got home and instead of asking them what's wrong, like, I just contemplated like I just told you, which made me feel horrible. Basically, I cried all night, and when I like wouldn't cry, and I would like try to sleep, I couldn't. And I like couldn't sleep and I like slept for like 2 hours and I woke up at 6 and I like had half an hour until my parents would bust into my room and wake me up or whatever. In that half an hour I was just sitting there staring at the wall, not even being like but just like staring at the wall, tears streaming down my face like this. I felt horrible, like I was sleep deprived or whatever, and in general I just felt like shit. So my parents walked into my room like half an hour later, so it was like 7:30, 6:30. I'm very bad at numbers. They were like, you know, what's wrong? And my mom was, and I like told them everything, and my mom was like really understanding because she has kind of gone through the same thing, or like is going through the same things that I do. So she like had she had empathy with me. And my dad back then didn't have empathy for me like at all. Like, he was like, I don't fucking care. Like, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna wipe off those tears, you're gonna put on some makeup, you're gonna go to school and you're gonna talk it out with them. And you're gonna see everything will be fine. But like, I fucking knew that nothing is gonna be fine. Nothing. I like talked to my dad. I was like, dude, I can't go to school like this. Like, I feel fucking awful. Like, I'm crying. I can't go to school like this. And eventually he would, you know, be like, alright, you can stay at home, but make sure that you text your friend about what's wrong. Now, I do have to say my dad has gotten better at like empathy or whatever. Like, when I feel really bad nowadays and I like can't go to school, he's like, I mean, he tries to talk me out of staying at home. He's just gonna be like, you know, like, if you go staying at home is not gonna make anything better, which is true. But like, I would be crying and I like couldn't get to school or whatever, and he would be like, alright, you know, just take your time or whatever. So I stayed at home being depressed as shit as always. So my dad got home early from work that day, and by the time he got home, my friends got like home as well. So I texted them, you know, like, hey, I know that you have been acting weird lately, and did I do something wrong? And if I did, can you please tell me why? Like, I'm sure it's just a big misunderstanding and really sorry beforehand. And you know, a few minutes went by and the first reply came in. It was of course from fucking Regina. She texted me like, oh, you know, like, I'm eating right now, and if I'm gonna talk about it, I wouldn't like be able to eat anymore, and like, I really don't want to talk about it or whatever. I was like, dude, please just tell me. I'm desperate. I feel like shit. Like, yeah, I have to know what's wrong in order to make it right. She was like, yeah, no, I don't want to talk about it. And basically, ignored me for the rest of the day. Another reply came in, and it was actually from one of my other friends. And she was like, you know, like, I don't want to talk about it. She wasn't like as mean about it as Regina, which kind of made me think, you know, maybe Regina told them not to answer or whatever. Or maybe they were actually mad at me or whatever. Like, I don't know what happened. So I went to my parents. I told them that they like wouldn't tell me anything. So the same day, this was like Wednesday by now, there was like a fest in our village, and everyone from the village would like be there, and my parents would go as well. Regina would be there as well, and I initially wanted to go, but I decided not to because basically I was just feeling like a piece of shit, and I was like, my depressed ass is like staying at home or whatever. My parents went to this fest, and my mom was like furious, like she was so mad at Regina for like being this mean to me, which like I get it, but the next thing my mom did, like, I really appreciate you, Mom, but like what you did probably made everything worse. So what my mom did, basically, like, she was at the fest and she's like saw Regina at her phone, laughing at her phone or whatever, and my mom thought that Regina was talking to everyone I know and was like spreading lies and rumors about me and like being real funny about it or whatever. So my mom got furious and she got up, went over to Regina and cussed her out in front of everybody. I didn't know about this until Regina walked up to my house and knocked on my door and told me this herself. I opened the door and she was like crying or whatever, and I was like, dude, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? Has something happened to you? Like, tell me. And she was like, yes, something has happened to me, and basically like stormed into my living room or whatever. And she sat down and she told me what I just told you, and I was like, I didn't know about that. Like, is that why you're so upset? And she's like, of course that's why I'm so upset. Like, your mom cussed me out in front of everybody. Like, why would you tell your mom lies? Like, we're not mad at you. We don't hate you or whatever. You've just been acting weird lately, and you like wouldn't tell us. And we were like, you know, you don't want to be friends with us anymore. And I was like, dude, that's like not true at all. Like, I didn't realize that I was like distancing myself, because that's what she told me as well, that I was like, you know, distancing myself from them, which happens when you like going through a depressive episode. It happens really unintentionally, like you don't even really notice it until someone calls you out on it. So I told her like, dude, like, I'm not like I don't hate you, like I still want to be friends with you. I just thought that you were mad at me or whatever, that's why I texted you. She's like, you know, like, okay, and what's wrong? And I like didn't really tell her what's going on. I was just like, I'm feeling really sad lately, and if I was like being mean to you or whatever, just know that it's not because I don't like you or like I'm mad at you. It's because I'm really sad lately and I can't control my feelings or whatever, which was true. She like got up and was like, I gotta go or whatever. And before she walked out the door, I like asked her, yo, but we're cool, right? Like, we're still friends, like, we're friends, like, everything's gonna go back to normal, right? She was like, yeah, sure, and left. We actually had, like, a long weekend, and so I had Thursday and Friday off, and then the regular weekend afterwards. What was kind of strange was that, like, none of my friends texted me at all. I wasn't really mad about it. I just thought that, you know, maybe they were still kind of not sure whether they want me there, and like everything's gonna be okay again and Monday when I like talk to them again or whatever. And so Monday came around, and it was actually 1 week after like all of this happened. I got up and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be with my friends again, like we're gonna have fun again, like everything's gonna be fine, you know. And I would walk to the bus station because we would also wait for the bus at the same station. I walked up to her, my mom, and I walked up to her and I was like, just like, you know, totally normal, like, hey, how's everything going? And I bought this new dress because I was in Vienna, and do you like it or whatever? And she was like, yeah, alright. I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on in here on this day? The bus arrived and we got in, and we would sit next to each other like always. As the bus started to take off, she turned to me and was like, Magda, I have to tell you something. Yeah, we think it's best if we're not friends anymore. And you can still sit next to us in class because like we would sit next to each other all the time. But please don't talk to us like ever again. And I was like, bro, what? You just told me last week that everything was gonna be okay and that we're still friends or whatever, and now you have the audacity to tell me that everything I was hoping would be okay again was not okay. So I basically asked her like, dude, like you told me that everything was okay, like what's wrong? Like did I do something wrong again? She was like, no, you did nothing. I just changed my mind. And so by we, like I said we before, she didn't even talk about herself. Like I never actually heard my other friends tell me, you know, we don't want to be friends with you anymore. It was just Regina speaking for them. I woke up this day positive as fuck, you know, like a happy little doggo or whatever. My mood went from up here to down here. You can't even see it, that's how low it was. I literally wanted to jump out of that fucking bus, run home and cry, but I couldn't because the bus had already taken off, and if I would have like called my parents to pick me up, they would be just like, no, you're at school already, like stay at school, like everything's gonna be okay or whatever, which like was not fucking true. I spent the whole school day alone, basically. I did reconnect with like my old friends from back then, and which was like so weird because like I was horrible to them because, as I said, like peer pressure, like I felt like if I was mean to them and if I would like make jokes about them, I would be liked by everyone. They kind of showed me what real friends are because they would like actually talk to me and listen to my problems, and it was actually the first time I felt comfortable talking about all this stuff like ever. So like middle school ended and I was just like, bye bitches, like see you never ever again. So that kind of concludes the story, I guess. I just want to say that from this experience my depression has gotten worse, my social anxiety has gotten worse, my insecurities have gotten worse of like me talking to people, or like I'm generally afraid to talk to people because I just think that they like don't want to talk to me or whatever. Yeah, that's about it. I know this video has been long, but like it is a long ass story, and I actually have another story that's a little more dark or fucked up than this one. If you want me to talk about that, please hit the like button or comment down below and tell me if you want that, or let me know if you want that. And also, if you got interested, please hit that subscribe button. I'm like trying to hit 100 subscribers, or at least, no, let's not say 100, let's say 50, because I'm like at 35 right now or something. I would really appreciate. Also want to do a new thing on this channel, which is like at the end of every video I want to put in like a small snippet of like I really like right now. And I actually saw this idea on like a YouTuber's channel called Elijah Daniel, who did this in one of his older vlogs with Christine Sadalko. I don't know if you know them, like if you're familiar with internet memes and internet stuff, like you will know them. Today's song of the day is Alien Boy by Oliver Tree, and you can listen to it on my playlist down below or right now. I love you guys, and thanks for watching this video if you've made it to the end. And I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.